Hey guys, it's Mandy and welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so excited today. We're gonna be making a New Year's Day dinner. We're gonna do that for 4 people for under $20. And this is gonna be a traditional Southern New Year's Day dinner. I'm really excited to share it with you. I did wanna say, if you see any chaos in the background, I'm doing a little bit of kitchen rearranging. And if you hear anything in the background, I've got a bunch of teenagers hanging out because it is winter break. But you know what? It's all good here in the neighborhood, right? So we're gonna be making a $20 dinner today. I actually went into the store with $20. I got out for 18 and some change, but I'm not including egg, milk, oils, seasoning, butter, those things. So that gives you a little wiggle room. And I also didn't include a dessert. So, but I did get out for this dinner for $18 and some change. So I'm really excited to share this. I'm excited about this video because 2021 has been a great year for me. I've so enjoyed having you with me in my kitchen. And this is the last video of 2021, so I'm excited for 2022. Let's get this Southern traditional New Year's Day dinner. I think I said all that right. Let's get it started. Stick around. This is All Things Mandy. So these are the ingredients that I picked up for my $20 New Year's Day traditional Southern dinner. And so I have 4 pretty large sweet potatoes here. I have a pound of black-eyed peas, corn muffin mix, a huge head of cabbage, and some center cut bone-in pork chops. Now, I came out of the store, here's my receipt, $18.12. Now that is a little bit below my budget, but I am gonna be adding in eggs, oil, some seasonings, things like that. And I did not include a dessert. So you could have definitely had a dessert there for the difference, but it's $18.12. So we're gonna put this all together and we're gonna make a New Year's Day dinner. So the first thing I'm gonna do to prep this meal is I've taken my package of black-eyed peas. I've put them in this water. I'm just gonna let these soak for about an hour. Then I'm gonna rinse them, see if I think they need to soak for another hour. But I'm gonna do this a couple hours before I cook. I will then be putting these in the Instant Pot. And for my Christmas dinner, $20 Christmas dinner, I had this huge ham bone left. I stuck that in my freezer because there's tons of flavor in this. So this is gonna go in with my black-eyed peas to give them lots of flavor. So I've got this out of the freezer actually, so I can let this thaw out or defrost a little while my beans soak. Hey y'all, I'm so excited. I just got my package from Amazon and this is what I think it is. It's something that I've wanted for a long, long time. And I finally got it with some of my Christmas gift cards. And so I'm gonna open it for you here and show you what I've got. I'm so excited. So, this is the Luxano counter bamboo knife block. So this Luxano knife block doesn't come with a knife set. And that's why I'm so excited. I got it off of Amazon. I've been eyeballing it for quite a while. I think it was about $40. It was like on sale. But I had a few gift cards. So here is why I'm so excited about this. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the box. It is a Countertop bamboo knife block, and I'm so excited to show you what this thing can do. Let me get this plastic off. So this is what it looks like. This is why I'm so excited. First of all, this does not have pre-sliced, I don't know what else to call it. There's no grooves for your knives. So you can take any cutlery that you've got and use it in here. And the reason I'm so excited is because, well, number one, I have all these specialty knives that do not fit into my current knife block, but I want a safe place to keep my knives protected and to keep them from cutting people. Little hands reaching in drawers. So there are no pre-cut grooved edges here. So what I can do is I can take, I want you to watch this. I can take my specialty knife and just stick it down in there, just like that. Different shaped knife, just stick it down in there. It even has this front groove here where I can put my smaller knives, like steak knives. So let me show you. can even put my kitchen shears in there. So I'm gonna lift this up to show you. You can put your cutlery in there any way that you want. And so that's the main reason I'm excited. I've got a nice place to put my nice knives. The second thing that I'm so excited about, wait for it. So, you know your regular standard knife block, how it has the grooves and it's wooden and you stick your knife down in the right slot. All right, you ever thought about what might live down in the bottom of those grooves? I try not to think about it. Ew. But when I saw this, my main attraction was I can take my specialty knives, any knives I get, find a spot for them, they're gonna fit. But then, as I started reading reviews, this thing is gonna be life-changing because you can take these bristles out. And when you take it out, you can see that it kind of looks like a broom. That's what you're sliding it down into, okay? You can take these bristles out. You can put this in the dishwasher. Yes. So if your knife block needs cleaning, or maybe you like to just do a huge deep clean every few months, you can put this in the dishwasher and it will disinfect it, it will clean it, then you just slide it right back in your block, you're good to go. I'm so excited about this. So I'm gonna leave this Amazon link down below. I can't wait to use this thing. This is gonna change my kitchen. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm so excited that it came before I did this video. I'm gonna get my knife block set up. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done, and we're still just waiting on those black-eyed peas, and then we're gonna do our New Year's Day dinner, so stay tuned. So here is my new knife block all set up. As you can see, I've got my steak knives here, a paring knife, my kitchen shears. I have my chef's knives here, and then I have my bread knives, and even the sharpening, I call it a sharpening rod. I don't know what you call it, but this is the knife block, and I am so excited about this. You really need to check this thing out. It's not just gonna be handy, it's gonna be a lot safer and less germ and bacteria. So I'm excited about this. Okay, so my beans have been soaking for a little over an hour, and I just rinsed them. They look good, so I'm gonna add those to my Instapot. Now, if you don't have an Instapot, you could totally do this on the stovetop. Just take a couple hours. You could do this in the slow cooker or in your crock pot. It would just take about all day. But I'm gonna put these in my Instant Pot. I'm gonna take this huge ham bone now. I'm gonna just kind of nestle it down in there. And it's a big one. I mean, I'm hoping it's even gonna fit. We're gonna make it. And that was left over from my $20 Christmas dinner. If you have not seen that video, I will link it down below. Now, some people say, why black-eyed peas? Well, I'm just gonna tell you what I've always heard. Now, I'm adding right now in some garlic powder and some onion powder. So when I've always ate this dinner as I was, growing up, and what I've heard is that the black-eyed peas kind of resemble a coin. And so there was a old wives' tale, or I don't know if that's what you would call it, but people would think if they ate on New Year's Day, the first day of the year, black-eyed peas, that it would help them with their prosperity and their wealth, that they would have a prosperous year. I don't know that it means you're going to be wealthy or anything, but it just means that you're going to have a prosperous year. So that's where the black-eyed peas thing came from. So I added in some onion powder, garlic powder. I'm going to add in some kosher salt. I'm not going to add a lot because this ham's going to have a lot of salt, so I'll add more afterward if I need it. And I'm going to add in some coarse black pepper. And then I'm going to add in some water. I'm going to add in about 4 cups because I don't want my beans to dry out. So I'm going to add in 4 cups, and I'm going to take a spoon here and make sure all the beans are covered with water. Now this ham bone should cook down and break down a little bit while it's in here. All right, so now I'm going to take my lid, put this on, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do my settings. All right, so I've got everything here in the Instant Pot. I gotta make sure this is sealed. It is. And my Instapot has a bean and chili button, so I'm gonna mash that. It says 30 minutes, I'm gonna up it. I wanna do 45. And that's it. So this will build up pressure, and in 45 minutes, my beans, black-eyed peas actually, should be ready to check. I'll take out that ham bone, and then we will get started on everything else. All right, y'all, so for the next thing, we're gonna do my favorite part of this meal. This is so yummy. I take these sweet potatoes, I'm gonna wash them up, I'm gonna peel them, I'm gonna slice them, and these are gonna be fried, yummy, sweet goodness. This has no meaning that I know of, at least, for the New Year's Day dinner, but if you know of something, leave it in a comment down below. I just think it means that 2022 is gonna be super sweet because these are super sweet and super yummy. So let me get these prepped up. So here are my sweet potatoes, all peeled, washed, sliced, and hanging out, waiting for me to put them on the stove. So I just mixed up that Jiffy corn muffin mix according to directions. It takes 1/3 cup of milk and 1 egg. So I did add that in. I've got my cast iron skillet heating up at 450 in the oven. I already showed you my sweet potatoes. Now I'm gonna take my pork chops. I'm going to pan sear them in my cast iron skillet. And all I do is just salt and pepper and some oil. Pan sear both sides. I'm gonna transfer it to a casserole dish and finish it in the oven while my cornbread is cooking. And then we'll get the potatoes on, get the cabbage going. It's coming together. So here are my pork chops. I just did a quick sear on those and I put them here in my casserole dish. Look at this. This was a gift from my dad. If you follow me on Instagram, you have seen the story and I talked about how special it was. But yeah, look at this casserole dish my dad made me. I love it. It's so special. I'm gonna cover these pork chops with foil just so that they don't dry out in the oven. And I'm gonna add those to the oven to finish cooking with my cornbread. Now here I have a skillet heating up for my sweet potatoes. I've got a little bit of oil in there because I want somewhere for my butter to go. So I'm gonna take a lot of butter. But first, I'm gonna start with just 2 tablespoons. So I'm gonna drop that in my pan. And then I'm going to drop in my sweet potatoes. Now I added my sliced sweet potatoes and I just kind of gave those a little flip there just to kind of get them in that original butter mixture. These are going to take a minute because, you know, potatoes are porous, or not porous, dense. I don't know. It takes a lot to cook. So I'm going to add 2 more tablespoons here on the top. I'll probably be adding more. It's okay. Butter, sweet potatoes. It's supposed to be great. And I'm also going to be adding in some brown sugar. I just sprinkle some in as we go along until everything looks caramelized. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar, give these a quick toss, put the lid on, and then I'll be back to talk to you about the cabbage. I did want to show you about how much brown sugar I start with. I start with this, I give everything a big stir, I put the lid on, and then I come back and stir it every couple of minutes. I think this may be enough brown sugar, but as the cooking process goes along, if it doesn't look as caramelized as I want, I will add more. But I also wanted to kind of tell you about the pork chops. I didn't tell you the meaning behind the pork chops. A lot of Southern culture, maybe other cultures, I don't know, eat pork on New Year's Day because of the characteristics of a pig. Yeah, a pig. The story goes is that a pig always looks forward. A pig never looks behind. It leads with its nose, of course, so it always looks forward. And so I think that the meaning of eating pork on New Year's Day is that we're going to look forward to the new year. We're not going to look back. We're not going to focus on our past mistakes and failures and shortcomings. We're going to just look forward in the new year. That's how I look at it. But that's why we have pork chops. And like I said, the sweet potatoes, that's just for pure sweetness, y'all. So the next thing that we're going to do is really the last thing. We've got the pork chops finished in the oven. We've got the cornbread in the oven. We've got the black-eyed peas. They're finished in the Instant Pot. I took the ham bone out. The beans are looking great. I've got my sweet potatoes frying on the stove. Now we're going to get ready for our fried cabbage. Now, on New Year's Day, tradition is to eat a green. Now, I grew up eating fried cabbage. Some people grew up, my husband did, eating collard greens. You can do either one. You could do mustard greens, turnip greens, whatever. But since I was trying to keep this under budget, I only chose one green, and I chose the cabbage because that was my preference, to be honest. You could do both. You could do all the greens that you want, but from what I understand, the tale is that the green stands for money. And so it's a wish for money for the upcoming new year. I've always heard as well that the green stands for health. So you can look at it as health and wealth, however you want to look at it, but we're gonna do some fried cabbage, and I'm gonna go ahead and get this ready to cut. So I'm just gonna like cut a section off. You don't want that hard core in the middle. I'm gonna turn it long ways and then just little strips like this. So I didn't tell you this about the cornbread either. I made the cornbread, nothing fancy, off of the box instructions, and I'm baking that in my cast iron skillet. But the tale about the cornbread is that it looks like gold. So it's another prosperous hope for the new year. So this is how I do my cabbage. I mean, I literally just cut it into little strips, and then we're gonna fry it. I'll show you how we fry it. I'm gonna fry it in the cast iron skillet that I actually seared my pork chops in. I left the drippings and everything in there, and we're just gonna put this right in. So I'm gonna finish chopping up this cabbage, then we'll get it into our cast iron skillet. So here is my cabbage and my cast iron skillet where I did the pork chops. This is a lot of cabbage. You can see it's like overflowing the pan here. It will wilt down. Greens cook down a lot, but I'm just gonna keep sitting here. I'm gonna keep giving it a swish with my tongs. I'm just seasoning this with salt and pepper, and when it cooks down a little bit, I'll add some butter, and this is gonna be our cabbage. Yummy. Okay, so all of our dishes are out of the oven. I've got my cake of cornbread here. I'm getting ready to slice it. It is finished. Our pork chops have come out of the oven. Here are our black-eyed peas. They look delicious. We have our fried cabbage and our fried sweet potatoes. So let me get this plated up, oh my gosh, and show you how good this looks. And here is our completed plate. So you can see here the yummy pork chop, the black-eyed peas, the caramelized fried sweet potatoes, the fried cabbage, and that golden cornbread. This is a New Year's Day dinner that I think anyone from the South would be proud of. Y'all, this meal was so delicious. And I'll have to say, the sweet potatoes were definitely my favorite. They're so caramelized, so yummy. The kids all loved the fried cabbage, and my husband absolutely adored the black-eyed peas. This was a wonderful meal. I want to say thank you for coming to my channel. I would love to see you some more in 2022. And from my family to yours, Happy New Year.